Hi, my name is John, and this is my channel, Cichlid Heaven. This week I've been working on setting up a new tank, 75-gallon, and I shouldn't say a new tank, but a repurposing of a 75-gallon that's been used for a bunch of female cichlids that I've finished breeding. And so, since I had this 75, and I really have had the ambition of branching out a little bit into some South American and Central American cichlids, I thought this would be a good place to at least start them out. I think in the long term they'll need a bigger tank, but this one will work for the time being since they're still going to be pretty small. So I had this tank set up with gravel on one side and crushed quartz on the other side, and the crushed quartz was really white, and I didn't really love that look, and so I added a bag of pool filter sand and removed what I could of the natural gravel that was in here. However, you see me filtering through here throughout this video, trying to get the last of the gravel out of there. So while I was setting up the tank for the Severums and South Americans, I decided to clean out the sponge filters. So I rinsed the one sponge filter out in the bucket, the sponges from the AquaClear 110 and the AquaClear 70. I also rinsed them out in a bucket of tank water. I always do that just to keep the cycle in the tank going, not to kill off any of my beneficial bacteria. So as I was getting things ready, I decided this tank will be a little more of a natural look. So I took out a fake log decoration that I had there, and my little Titanic ship that I had in there. And so I'm just going with a piece of driftwood and then rocks which I have scavenged from my other aquariums. So the rocks on the left are what I call Rocky Mountain rocks. Since I live in the Rocky Mountains of Utah, they are granite rock that has been subjected to eons of runoff and snow, so I know they're not carrying any harmful minerals in them. And then a whole bunch of plastic plants. And on the right I've got some dragonstone, which I had in a 40-gallon, and I just did a little video on that a month or so ago. I like the dragonstone, but those two 40-gallons that I had got new light fixtures that were getting too much of an algae buildup on the rocks. So I thought I wanted the algae from those rocks in this tank so that my scavengers would have something to snack on while this tank is getting recycled. Basically, with cycled sponge filter and hang on the back filters and most of the substrate and rock, I'm not worried about this cycle crashing or giving me any problems. But just to be safe, I thought it'd be helpful to have a little bit of algae on the rocks, and that would give the scavenger something to snack on. So here it is, looking horribly cloudy, of course, since I've just wreaked havoc on this environment. But in the middle of the night, I got up and caught the fish that were in their quarantine tanks. So I've got two electric blue acaras here. They were in one quarantine tank, and the rest of the fish, the Severums, were all in the same quarantine tank together. So the only fish that were in here already were those two yoyo loaches and a few plecostomus. I've got some bristlenose plecostomus that have been permanent occupants for this tank for a couple years now. So for the Severums, I went with a couple of red spot Severums, 3 gold Severums, 1 mouthbrooding Severum, and 2 green Severums. I've also got 2 Geophagus tapaho, and they're a sand sifter, which is part of the reason I decided to go to a sandy environment here, because I thought there may actually be a few other Geophagus species that I want to add in here. And since these fish have only been here for a couple hours, I don't know, long term how great things will work out between them, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be just great. I do have plans to add a chocolate cichlid, and I'll bring in my pair of Nicaraguan cichlids. The Nicaraguensis, as I call them, are just a gorgeous cichlid, and I think they will make good tank mates for these, probably better than the Africans they've been with for the last year or so. So kind of excited about adding the Nicaraguans into this mix, and perhaps another couple of acaras and and other Central American cichlids. If you have any recommendations for me, please put them down below. I know a lot of people who watch my channel are just as experienced as I am with cichlids, so thanks for watching today. Be sure and like and subscribe. Have a great day.